Hey guys, welcome to another Homelab Series video today. In today's video, we'll be setting up a Joplin server, essentially so that you can sync all your Joplin nodes that you've set up, kind of like Evernote or other kind of like note taking where you can kind of have a centralized place that it syncs to, that you can essentially install, set up a server for, and then hook up your desktop app or mobile app to it so that all your notes get synced together. So we'll show you how you can get that started today. So let's get started. All right. So first thing that we want to do here is set up our DNS so that we can actually resolve the server. So what we'll do here is update our DNS in our GitLab repository. So because we have our pipeline, so we'll just name it Joplin A in A and 110. So once we commit this in, it will deploy out to our DNS server at Joplin and allow us to essentially resolve joplin.dragon.local on our network, which will be cool. With that, we'll need to update our Ansible playbooks also, because we'll use Ansible to set up our server, which will allow us to essentially install all the prereq stuff that we need, which is like Docker and updating the server, plus TLS with our step CA. So we'll have all this set up via Ansible. So Joplin. So let's get that added in here too. All right, and that's pretty much all we need to do on the GitLab side. Pretty much all this is just prereqs for us to start actually creating our machine. To do so with that, we'll use our AWX, which is essentially the GUI for Ansible to kind of manage running our playbooks. So we'll use our workflow that has like 4 or 5 playbooks that will create the VM, patch it, install Docker and Docker Compose, which we will need for this because that's what we'll be using. Create new certs on our step CA internal server, and use those certs with Nginx to set up TLS, which will be amazing. So what we'll do is Joplin, we'll use the IP that we added in the DNS, then we'll just create a VM name, and then the proxy address. So what we'll do is look up Joplin and Docker, because we'll be using their Docker image. So down here, they should have a compose file. So here's a sample compose file that we'll be essentially using. So we can kind of see, so it'll set up a database, and then the app is going to be on 22.300. So that's what we'll do here. So we'll proxy 22.300 for our Nginx. So we will launch that, and essentially it'll go through the motions, take a few minutes to install, and then once that's done installing, we'll then finish the rest of the setup with the Docker Compose file and anything else that we need. But while we're waiting for that, we'll actually install the Joplin desktop download, and we'll actually download Joplin so I can show you here how it would work. So we got the executable, so we're going to install it on our Windows machine, but you can also, there's a mobile app too. So this is setting up this server to essentially allow to keep it all in sync, which is pretty neat. So it shouldn't take more than a few seconds, 8 seconds. Clearly, I need faster internet, guys. I need to upgrade my network to a 10 gig network. It was on my list for Prime Day, but we did not jump on some of the stuff because they weren't on sale. So maybe next Prime Day. All right, so now that's done. Once that actually fully finishes, it says done, but it's not done. So give it a second. Downloads. Joplin. Okay, so now it's hopefully done. Yes. Now we can open it up, run through the installation. So we're going to just install it for me. And we will hit run. All right. So if you've never used it before, it's another kind of note-taking app. I know I've been doing a lot of note-taking apps actually across multiple videos in the last few days. But this is essentially another note-taking app, which is pretty cool, actually. I haven't personally used it myself, but it was on my list of things that I want to use also. But it's all in Markdown, so you can kind of see here where on the left side you can write the notes, and then on the right side it just renders it. It'll just have it rendered essentially. So you can kind of see, you can see both, and you can update, and it'll update as you write it, which is pretty neat. But obviously the thing is, if you want to sync it across multiple different things here, you essentially won't be able to sync it unless you have a server or like a Dropbox or something else. So we do actually have a server, so we'll hit synchronization, create here. So we'll open sync. We won't open sync wizard. We will do the synchronization Joplin server, https joplin.dragon.local, and then once we have the password and everything, we will set that up. So give it a second here. We'll go back to our VM, which is still setting up, so it takes a few more minutes. So once this finishes, we'll finish that part of the section. All right, now that that has finished, what we can do is log into my machine. So we'll log into joplin.dragon.local, type in the password, and now we can see like Docker is installed. So what we'll want to do is now go back to our section that we went through, grab the Docker Compose file, docker compose.yaml, paste that in here, and notice that there are some variables that we will need to populate. So what we'll do here is go back to the documentation, scroll back up a little bit, because I believe there was a env file that we can use. So we'll grab this in here. So we'll copy that, vi.env, paste that in here. So we're going to go with this. So we will move this, delete these here, and update a few things. So in this case, what the base URL will be joplin.dragon.local. We can leave these here as default, but you probably want to change the password if you are setting this up in a real environment. And then we'll just do a docker compose up and -d for detach. So this will pull down the Postgres image and the Joplin app image, and then allow us to essentially run it, and it should connect together, and then we can just go to the app and see in the GUI. The next interesting thing is, I believe in here there is something in regards to user management. Okay, admin credentials. So by default, admin at localhost and passwords admin. Okay, so that is good to know for when this is done. We'll change that. But we can check the logs. So that, other than that, I don't see anything else in this documentation that we need to worry about specifically, but I think that should be it. So we'll wait for this to finish pulling and extracting. And when it does, it should be good. So it only took 64 seconds, guys. Apparently I need to upgrade my machine. It feels like everything's a lot slower after I had to restart from a power outage. But what we can see here is everything is running, it's up, and we got that opened. So what we can do is https joplin.dragon.local. Then we do admin, or what was it, admin or administrator? Admin at localhost, was it .com? Just at localhost. And admin And now we are logged in. It will prompt you to change it here now, so let's change it. And update our profile. So we can go back to home here. So this is just the server part. This is where you would sync everything, all your Joplin applications would sync to. So you can see how it tells you also what to do here. So we already started this here. So we already got the URL. Then now we need to do admin at localhost, and then our password, and then we can see the synchronized configuration here. So we'll hit apply there, and hopefully that should work. So we can hit sync over here. It is syncing. I want to say, hopefully there's something here that tells me that it's actually syncing. There's some tasks in here: process item, process emails. And fail to get. Go back to configurations, wherever that was. I spelled it wrong. It was go back. Import, export, switch profile. What's the configurations? I just typed it in wrong. Check for updates about nope. Options. There we go. And then we go to synchronization and type this in correctly. There we go. Apply. And now we can hit sync, and it should hopefully sync correctly. Unless it fails again, then I have no idea what we're doing here, guys. Oh, okay. So even though that I have the cert applied on my machine because I'm using step CA, it's not actually taking it correctly. So this is what happens when you do a self-sign cert here. So we can make it work without the self-sign cert right now. So we can just do this with 2230. We'll just do that for now. I wonder if there's a place in here to do self-sign certs though. And that might be something for a future exploration. Except did I take HTTPS out in front of the top? No, I did. Okay. So hopefully, what we should be able to see is items. Invalid origin. That shouldn't be. Oh, it's because I actually set the home to be so. Because I wanted to have certs, it doesn't work because it's actual. Well, now we're gonna do add CA certificate. Oh, okay. So I can ignore certs apparently. Okay, so synchronization. Current delete custom TLS certificate. Oh, okay. So I could put the TLS set here, or I can just ignore it. So I'm gonna ignore it because I don't know why I have it on my server right now. Okay, so now it should work. All right, so now you can see it's synced. We should now be able to go back to our server, and we should now be able to see items that have synced in here. So essentially it downloads everything here, and we can sync this to all of our other machines that we are running. So took a little bit. SSL always gets me regardless. So That's the problem with doing self-sign sets occasionally, that it's not perfect. But that's okay. But we got it, and it looks like everything synchronized. So if we were to make updates, we can see that it would probably update down here, and we should be good. So if you're looking for a self-hosted way, this is one way to self-host your Joplin server so that you can sync all your Joplin, apps together and be able to access it from any of your machines. So if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.